proud and privileged that as you start to lurk out in social media and find like-minded original, people like yourself to say, you support the trades, you get inspired by what it is that they do and the career opportunities that are there. That's how we really connected. I was like, we have to share these stories and figure out ways to help, the clients and organizations that support us.
That's Mr. Michael Fina from the Boogie Down Bronx in New York City. He's the founder of the ULA network. Let me say that slower because I know my kind of mumble a little bit. The ULA network. Check him out. He's on all the socials out there supporting the trades. Michael and I connected through LinkedIn and jumped on a phone call to share ideas and get to know each other a little bit. And his commitment to the men and women out there that are serving our communities, all those essential workers out there, trades folks, came through like the Kool-Aid man. If y'all remember that, if you know, you know. And I said, dang it, we got to get you on the podcast. We coordinated schedules, finally got to interview him. In this conversation, we talk about some cool stuff. One, of course, the earning potential of trade workers and the risk of employers, general contractors, etc., underappreciating the people that are out there doing the work, because the way things are right now, they can pick where they're going to be providing value. And so show them some love, they may stick around. He also tells us what it takes to be a content creator. Like I just mentioned, he's the founder of the ULA network, and he's leveraging social media to get the message out there and highlight other content creators within the trade space. And it's some pretty darn solid advice. I'll bet you right now, it ain't what you think it is. Through the conversation, I think you're going to be able to understand exactly what I was able to discern in terms of his commitment to serving others. He talks all about how he's nurtured and developed that over years and years. And there's a special club. It'll be named, you'll hear it, but I'm not going to tell you. Got to give you a teaser. Speaking of service and appreciation, need to give a shout out to our patrons out there that are supporting the cause, that are contributing funds to the Learnings and Missteps podcast. And I got an amazing announcement. We have a new patron, Mr. Matt Gorsuch, just signed up. He signed up at the builder level. So that's, it's a pretty significant commitment. Matt, we're grateful to you for believing in us and contributing to this mission. And just so everybody knows, he's going to get some like extra goodies because of the level that he signed up at. And you can sign up. Go to learningsandmissteps.com, hit the become a member button, and hit all the rest of the buttons. We love you guys. And I'm going to stop flapping my gums. And here we go, Mr. Michael Fina, baby. What's going on, L&M family? I got Mr. Michael Fina here. Michael, you're up in the NYC, yeah?
That is correct. And the Boogie Down Brooklyn, New York.
Boogie Down Brooklyn. 10-4.
11209. I've lived here, for 48 plus years and still in the same zip code. Haven't got out of there.
Oh, man, that's amazing. I was talking to a friend, Armando Dunales. He's in New York. And he says that New York has the best tacos.
Best tacos? Well,
yeah.
Pizza is definitely one of the
pizza for sure.
Without a doubt. And, I did see you on some social media. So you were in New York. Next time you got to hit me up,
Oh, man. Yes, I was. The last time I was there was probably maybe about 2.5 months. But next time I'm there, absolutely. I mean, New York, it's a special place. And it blew my mind. You see Central Park on the movies, and like to experience it, like for me, here's the deal. It's like this patch of green nature surrounded by concrete, glass, and steel.
Yep.
And I was kind of expecting like, it's not going to be that peaceful. It's pretty darn peaceful. Like
beautiful.
It's beautiful. And it's kind of like just time travel from walking the streets, towering buildings, and then boom, you're in Central Park. and you're
Yeah.
like in the middle of nature. It's kind of mind blowing. I
Yeah, you
got a
rent the
story about Central Park that's a fans only content. This way back in the day.
As I say, you rent the boat right in in the middle of Central Park. You're rolling around, looking up and seeing the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Everything that's been developed and built. It's really incredible. I love it.
Yes. Yeah. And building in New York ain't no joke, man.
Without a doubt. And that's, as we start, talk today and just talk about the trades. What inspires me is just seeing all these different trades and how they're developing and basically building the city. I mean, that's what they
Yes.
do. And
Yes.
I get a couple levels, above 10 levels above, the floor, and I get a little woozy. I mean, these guys, iron workers in construction, carpenters and trades are out there, above the sky. I mean, I just could never do it, and then it's a special trade that they have, and I appreciate what they do. So
Yeah, man, 100%. They're out there making it happen every day. And so you and I connected of LinkedIn, social media somehow. It's hard to tell because like we're all over the place, TikTok and Instagram and LinkedIn.
exactly, exactly.
The important part is we connected.
That's right.
And we've had several conversations like, man, I got to get you on because I know you're doing amazing things for the trade community. And so we had our conversation like, okay, we got to get this scheduled up. And so with that, Michael, would you mind letting the L&M family know about you, man?
Yeah. But and again, thanks, Jesse, for the time. And again, I'm proud and privileged that as you start to look out in social media and find like-minded, original, people like yourself to say, you support the trades, you get inspired by what it is that they do and the career opportunities that are there. That's how we really connected. I was like, we have to share these stories and figure out ways to help, the clients and organizations that support us. So for the past 15 years, I've been working within the labor community, working for a union founded or a union founded, which was first called First Trade Union Bank, which became Radius Bank, and 2 years ago was acquired by LendingClub, and now it's LendingClub Bank. And I've had the great fortune of working within the trades, supporting union locals, benefit funds, and their associations on cash management, treasury needs. How the money comes in through the employers, gets paid out through pension, welfare, annuity, vacation funds, and really it's the lifeblood of money movement, touching every different vendor that supports labor and their members, which really is an incredible position to have. And for the past 15 years, we really consulted with labor, watching union officials rise through the ranks, and now are presidents and business managers of union organizations or moving into their internationals, and just meeting those people, working collectively with them for the greater good of the membership really inspires me. And that's what I love. And for the past 15 years, as technology has been enhanced, 5, 6 years ago, you talk Venmo or Zelle or all these different ways to move money. It
Yeah.
wasn't there before. And now you're just seeing an influx of technology, being able to reconcile or create these efficiencies. And for me, as a labor organization, these are nonprofits, organizations trying to create benefits for the membership. So I look at that, and I look at my career in some charitable organizations like the Rotary Club, like I mentioned to you before,
Yeah.
and trying to do good work, goodwill, and the motto really is service above self within the Rotary, mantra. Try to take that into a career path, what I do in my day-to-day professional life, and say, how do I help? I really enjoy, that's what I enjoy doing. And how do I look at my niche in my area of expertise and, plug myself into a role and support labor in different ways? And like I said, 15 years working with each individual vendor, from all healthcare providers and technology providers. We all service the same client, and the dollar touches everything. So you're moving through the steps, and I'm really fortunate to meet so many different people. And how do you work collectively for the greater good? And that's, just like you now, it's like, how do we collect, create, and work on opportunities together to do great things?
Yeah. In service to others, right? Like service to others before self. I mean, if that's not a mission, come on, man. Like that's what it's all about.
Well, it's inspired me, and we've talked about this before. COVID's changed so many people's lives.
Yep.
It directly impacted me. When I came back from the Building Trades Conference in March in 2020, and my wife, all of a sudden, the world shut down in New York, and my wife got really sick. My father got, was ill and unfortunately passed in May of that year. Veteran, and really the trades and my labor family reached out to help support me. And through those connections, through the Veterans Associations, we were able to get my mother the benefits that she needed, because Fort Hamilton Army Base and these assistance programs just weren't available. So then I was going out to somebody's backyard, filling out paperwork. And it's things that, you'd never want to ever have occur to anybody. But, just being there and the trades and my union clients and family reaching out and helping me, I'm forever grateful. And coming out of there, it's like, well, how do we help support? And, we talk about that, Jesse. It's like, we're locked in a 1-bedroom co-op in Brooklyn, and, you're trying to help support people and the essential workers and banging on pots and pans. But during Sandy, you're rolling up your sleeves and doing different things. In the community, we could do nothing. So what I did was I really just turned off the TV, because it was really depressing at the time, and went to social media and just started watching the trades start to communicate on different platforms of social media to reach and communicate, because those trades, men and women were out there building and still doing the work that they needed, as well as all the essential workers in the public sector and nurses and everything else. How do you help support? So, you sort of like things on Instagram or just see people posting. So I started doing that. And as I'm sitting here at home for 2 years, almost in jail or solitude, just like, do something. So, from that, I, started my LinkedIn page. I established, social media platform called the Union Labor Advisory Network, or ulanetwork.com. And the vision and mission, and again, it's how we got connected, is really to support, educate, and promote informative content relative to our union labor community. And seeing that and starting to watch labor communicate about, women and diversity in the trades, infrastructure opportunities, just apprenticeship jobs, skilled trade opportunities in the vocational schools. I didn't have that back in the day. And, and I got into the career in finance. My major at St. John's was, finance and marketing. I went to find, I thought that's where the money is. Let me find that career. My father was a dry cleaner, again, veteran, neighborhood, established organization here in Brooklyn. So I got into finance and thinking that's where and then just to learn and really appreciate, these skilled trades that are out there really has inspired me. So those social media platforms are like, let's educate the communities about what a trade's all about, the different aspects of different organizations, from again, carpenters and iron workers, plumbers, all sheet metal workers, all the different groups. There's so many different aspects within those careers. It's just, like, how do you educate them? Because the education's key. And then once they know about that career, then maybe I want to join that apprenticeship opportunity. And, I know I'm flapping away, but it's like the members are the lifeblood of the labor union organizations. And, if I could play a role in helping, educate in that space, that's what I'm going to do. And I look at it again, from a banking or a financial standpoint, drive more opportunities, more to the benefit funds, create efficiencies, and then repurpose those savings for member benefits in different ways. And I love it. Just continuously trying to learn and enhance my skills in different areas to support the clients that have always supported me.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful and important work that you're doing. And I think I was excited to get you on the podcast because, we talk about trades, and like you said, the education level for like the general public is very low. Like they're almost unaware of how essential trade workers are to the very comforts that we experience every single day. And so, like, the work that you're doing is in support of those trade workers, but behind the scenes. Like, how many people are going to know that there's Michael Fina out there nurturing, building, developing financial resources for the membership? Like, people aren't aware of how sophisticated the systems are in terms of, there's educating the general public, there's getting people into the trade, there's educating them through the apprenticeship, there's pensions and retirement and benefits and all these things. Like, that just doesn't happen. That takes a lot of horsepower to make those things come true. That's right. And you're out there doing it for everybody. And you mentioned your life on social media has kind of blown. And so now I guess, are you like a technology social media expert?
Absolutely not. No, I'm learning from you, Jesse, and I'm learning from so many other uh, people that are out there reaching, from a podcast to, webinars and different seminars, and again, Zoom thrusted us all into these laptops right now through little cameras and stuff to communicate. It's changed our world. A lot of,
Yes.
but I love going to conferences and events and pressing the flesh and just meeting people on a regular basis and figuring out how we could, work together collectively. But this now is, allowing us to reach out in a much broader, format, which I think is incredible. And again, we would have never met if we didn't just see a podcast that you presented and out there, and I've liked it and said we got to, let's see if we can connect. Met other organizations like Moxie, the Women of Infrastructure. I know you've had some other people on, Barbie the Welder, and
Yeah.
all these different groups, non-traditional workers and women in the workforce. That's more of a New York-based organization, or Tools and Tiaras.
Yep.
Watching, people just start to emerge and share and educate the community. That inspires me. And another group too, as I mentioned, my father is a veteran. Helmets to hard hats. I'll be forever grateful. I'm going to try to do whatever it is I can through my Rotary, through myself, and then through the organizations I work with to help careers from our military veterans and trying to find work. It's just such great opportunities, and I'm an evangelist if I can be to spread that word and try to create more opportunities for job creation and growth.
Yeah, man. That's what we're here for, right? Let's spread the word. Let's help serve some other people, because you probably know, but other people don't know, like the income, the earning potential in the trades. I mean, some of these craft workers out there are making some pretty decent money. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. Even the public sector, from building trades to public sector organizations. Again, I'm pushing 50 almost. I can't believe it. I'm like forgetting, how old I am.
Yeah.
But friends of mine in the field, they're ready to retire. I'm like, I can't even retire, but they have a generous pension and they're ready to go. They've worked hard throughout their career, and now they can move on to other, aspirations and opportunities. And it's all because of the hard work that they've had and the great careers they've had within, within the trades on the public sector side as well. From transportation workers and corrections officers and all
Yeah.
the gamut of nurses associations. I mean, it's really incredible. And again, I'm learning every day, and that's what gets me inspired, and trying to figure out how to help and learn and just share that knowledge.
It's a beautiful thing. I remember, I was 18 years old, just graduated high school, and my job, my dad's a plumber, but I got a summer job so I could save up some cash to pay for room and board and what going away to college. And man, I got out on the job and I loved it. Like the environment was the ultimate space for me. And the pay, I'm like, I got to go to college to make this. Like I'm already making this money right now. Why am I going to do that? And so I went to this thing about an apprenticeship program, and they showed a visual, and I know it's changed dramatically, but they said, okay, this is the average age of a licensed plumber in the state of Texas. And it was like, back then it was like 47 years old. And for every two that go out, that leave the trade, there's only one coming in. And like, I'm not a mathematician, but I knew that meant that what I could earn was going to more than double in the next few years. And man, if it hasn't more than doubled, like it was there, because there's a shortage of people in the work. There's an explosion of work to be done. So of course I'm going to make more money. I mean, right now, craft workers out there don't have to put up with a bunch of nonsense. Like if they're not being respected and valued by their employer, they can find a job on the way home and pick who they're going to work for. So that's a shout out to all the employers out there that are undervaluing your people. You can get your stuff in gear, because you're going to lose them, man, because there are amazing places for people to go work. So you went to school, you went to St. John's, studied finance. Did you always want to be in finance back when you were a little guy in Boogie Down, Brooklyn?
growing up in Brooklyn, I felt like a path where I went to Severian High School, then St. John's University, followed a lot of my peers and friends that were growing up in the neighborhood. Some of those guys became stockbrokers in the past. I went more the traditional banking route.
Yep.
And again, like I said, I thought that was where the money was, but that wasn't, I realized that's not really always been my drive. Like it's really been helping people and working more in a team, approach for the greater good,
Yep.
learning. And as I've grown, I feel like I've been successful in my career. It's myself and my wife. We have no children, and I'm very fortunate. I feel like I have a great family, very close. Growing up in Brooklyn, I'm the oldest of four. And when my father passed, I just felt like I'm now the matriarch. I'm head of household, for my mother and
Yep.
my siblings, and and all this happened during COVID. So I was like, I need to elevate and make sure that I'm utilizing all the skills, connection, and context that I have
Yeah.
to do what it is that I love, and just know that life is short, especially during learning all this stuff that happened COVID. And I'm going to do everything I can and just try to work as hard as I can to support as many people as I can and be successful. And hopefully that'll drive opportunities financially if that comes. But, in my heart and my passion is really just working with a lot of great people and learning from everybody. So that's what I enjoy.
I mean, what I'm hearing is you have a drive, an aptitude for connecting with people, for serving people, the whole team messaging. Where did that come from?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. And
Yeah.
well, I guess, working as a team collectively, the just growing in my career, and like I mentioned, with the charitable organization, with the Verrazano Rotary Club, just learning from my brothers within the club, again from a charitable standpoint,
Yep.
and and just helping people. I mean, I guess from a team approach, I played during my college careers, I played lacrosse. Just always working as a team. And in high school, that's what I enjoy. That's what I enjoy.
So how did you get now? We got some, like, this is a two-part question. The first part is, how did you get connected, tied into the Rotary Club? The second part is, can you tell us, like, describe what the Rotary Club is? Because I'm pretty sure there's some L&M family members out there that may not be fully aware of what that organization is about.
So I was a banker at the time, and some of your centers of influence and connections within the community worked with certain CPAs. And one of the CPAs that was a member of the club thought it would be great for me to attend. Knew that I was out there doing a lot of business to business, and knew I had a lot of contacts. So as it is a charitable organization, you try to raise funds to help support different causes. And he invited me to join. And I guess 20 years later, still a member with the organization, and just developed really, again, a brotherhood, sisterhood of members there. And it's always on Wednesday night when we meet and just try to figure out what opportunities we can help serve our communities with. And like I mentioned, sitting there with real professionals, people that really like to help, I feel like they rubbed off on me, and it's just been great for me. And especially from a career standpoint too, it's just working collectively to make things happen.
My understanding is there's Rotary clubs, like, nationally, just about every city out there. So
it's an international organization. So it's
Okay.
the largest charitable organization in the world. And if you go back to some of the things that they've attributed to, is raising funds for polio back in the day and helping eradicate, polio. It's one of the things and there's so many different clubs and chapters that help to support different charitable causes, like the Kiwanis Club or these other organizations you may have heard of. Being, the largest, and it's something that I just enjoy doing, because I can go on vacation to Florida, find a Rotary chapter, and then sit in on the meeting, find out what it is they're doing, meet other people that share that cause and do different things.
Amazing. So it sounds like it's a good resource to build relationships, build connections, and all for the purpose of serving others.
That's correct.
Yeah, man. Damn. So you heard it, y'all. Y'all got to go check it out. Find a Rotary Club, get involved. If you ain't doing nothing, go do something.
Thanks, Jesse.
Oh, man. Okay, so the next question, this is the one that people get kind of nervous about, is what's a significant learning you've had as a result of a painful misstep?
So, I mean, like I mentioned, I guess the painful misstep to me, the most, recent occurrence or really game changer or life changing event for me was.
All right, y'all. We got a bit of a change here. Yes, I'm breaking up the flow, and that's not going to change. It's going to stay the same. But the L&M family has spoken out, and we've heard you loud and clear. What we are doing is the backstage passes, these clips that you're not going to be able to listen to on this audio version, are now going to be available to everybody on our YouTube channel. So hit up our YouTube channel, subscribe, follow, like, hit all the buttons, and give yourself a little bit of a learnings and missteps marathon and catch up on all the outtakes. We want to hear your comments and we want to know what you're learning from these things, because all of our guests have shared some pretty intimate missteps and have had some pretty profound learnings. And we hope that you can take that and apply that going forward and even teach it to your people, the people you care about. So that is going to be the deal going forward. Thank you for supporting us, and back to the show. So similar, when COVID hit, the job I had at the time was a traveling role. I was traveling across the central United States, supporting the business units in multiple projects. And they said, "No, you got to stay home." I said, "What do you mean stay home? Like, I'm a social guy. Like, I got to be out there." and I'm sitting at home and I was whining because I hadn't done any career fairs. Like, my favorite thing to do is to go to schools, and I don't care, elementary school, middle school, it doesn't matter, and talk to educators and students and parents about careers in the industry. Like, I love doing that. And I hadn't done it. One, because I was traveling, and then COVID hit. So like, it was completely off the table. And I'm just sitting there whining about it. I said, wait a minute, I could still get the message out. And that's why the podcast launched.
That's
I
great.
just said, okay, I could do a podcast. A friend of mine had interviewed me on his podcast, Adam Gates. So I call Adam. I say, hey, Adam, I need to start a podcast. How do I do this? He's like, dude, you don't need much. And boom, 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 bam, we did it. I know a lot of people that time, that pause to like disconnect, even though we didn't really want it, it wasn't like the most ideal situation, but really helped us all understand what we really valued, right? And like you're talking about now, you go into golf tournaments. I just played in 2 golf tournaments back to back, and I hadn't done that in I don't know how many years. But because of the quarantine, the appetite for connectivity all of a sudden blew up. Like, we wanted to connect with people, and we want to connect in a more meaningful way. And pre-COVID, I was on social media and I was just jacking around, right? Like goofing off and posting goofy memes or whatever. Like, it was just a way to pass time. But since then, it surprises me because of the way we're able to connect with people. Like you said, I mean, you and I connected, and here we are. We've had some meaningful conversations, and getting to understand what people really are about. It's super counterintuitive, because you're on the other side of a computer screen just like me. You're in New York City, I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and we're just talking like we've been hanging out forever.
Right. Right.
uh, and we
Right.
can leverage that, right? To your point, to connect people, to share the knowledge, to share the learning, and there's so many people doing it. And I'm with you. Like, oh man, if you could connect with so and so, like, everybody's kind of stabbing at it in different ways. So the work that you're doing with the ULA is important work, because getting people organized, getting it together, having a common outlet is going to transform the impact. It's going to deepen the impact 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd be remiss if I don't mention, Elise from Few Systems, or Donnell from iLife Media, who actually, when we first started this, one gentleman, Donnell Elise, and fund administrator, worked for one of the trades, and we were at a conference, and he had a YouTube channel, Cops Court Community. Shout out to Darnell. He started, again, there was questions that he was getting from some of the community, and so let me just put this onto video and create his channel, and then it developed from there. And so initially as I, conceptually trying to put this together, figure out how do I move this. Still trying to build out my YouTube channel. Consulted with him, try to put a couple of videos together with some interviews.
Nice.
And then it led to that. Now it's emerged to a multi-platform, site from LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, a Union Strong app that hyper connected in, and hopefully future podcasts with you. We'll just put some things together, make things happen, keep sharing.
Yeah, man. So what advice would you give somebody that's like flirting with the idea about getting their voice and their message out there on social media?
I guess you just got to jump in. Don't be afraid. Don't procrastinate. Just follow your passion. And if you're looking to do good, like we are trying to figure out how to spread some educational resources, this is a great platform to be able to do it.
It's just that easy.
Just do it.
Just put it out there. Yes, it's nerve-wracking.
Not everything's gonna be perfect. You try to put like a YouTube video together and you want it to be pristine. Conversations, get mixed up, but you just got to jump in, do what you got to, just be yourself and do what you have to do.
You nailed it, man.
We get better at this stuff. So I'm sure your first video podcast to where it is today and all the different bells and whistles you have here, it's a whole other level, and every day you progress and get better. So that's
it, man. It's practice, right? You just do it. It may not be as shiny as you want it to go, but at the end of it, one thing that I've learned and found a lot of comfort in is I don't know if anybody goes back and listens to the very first episode, it's episode 0 of our podcast. The audio is horrible. It's jacked up bad. And me and my brother, Renee, we recorded, it was a conversation between he and I. And after we listened to it, it was like, oh my God, the audio's just bad. Like mic that I had, it was just a mess. But the conversation was good. Like, I was like, dude, we can't recreate that conversation. No. I'm just going to post it. Like, we're going to get better as we go along. Since then, we've bought different equipment and all that good stuff. And I remember being really scared about people critiquing it, right? Like, the audio sucks and y'all don't know what you're doing and, all this stuff. And exactly the opposite has happened. I've had so many people come back and say, dude, that episode 0 gave me motivation to try something else because it is jacked up. But the value of the content was what they took from it. Is man, and you're getting better. Like, how else are you? It's never going to be perfect, man. Just get out there and do it.
Yeah, exactly. You get some sponsorship from Nike now.
Yeah, they're next. It's either Nike or Adidas, one or the other. I haven't decided yet. Oh, I love it, my man. All right, so big question. I think you've answered, and I know you're going to do it. And that's one of the special things. So this question came about, like it's really tied to the whole mission of the podcast, which is to highlight the professionals that are in our industry, because too many people, when they think of a trade worker, craft worker, somebody in construction, they think they don't have a very high esteemed image of that person. And I know from having worked with so many of them, and too, you saw them come in full force to support you, that there are some amazing human beings in this industry. And so the question is, what footprint do you intend to leave on this world, sir?
Just somebody that's hardworking, true to his word, dedicated, person that's trying to do good in the world. I mean, and just follow that motto of service above self. Do what you love, and find something that you enjoy doing, and then excel in it. Or try to do the best you can in it. And as my career has progressed in the world of technology, I just want to make sure that I'm learning every day, and then providing that knowledge to the clients and people that I work with or support on a day-to-day basis. So just do good. I'm trying to do the best I can every day.
Yeah, that's it. Just do good. Just do good. That's perfect.
Right. I'm trying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're doing, my man. You're doing. So ULA, if people want to connect with you on the Insta and all the different things, do they just search ULA or how's the
Yeah,
best way to connect?
ULAnetwork.com is the website. We'll have all the other handles from the site there. Union Labor Advisory Network is the Instagram. And what I can tell people is really it's a site built for labor by labor. So as I'm trying to reach out to the community, and again I'm trying to get better a little bit to do some collaboration, because what really inspires me is watching those men and women in the trades posting to Instagram, showing what a career and job's about, watching some of the labor locals start to repost some of that information, and then really just aggregating it and celebrating what these trade opportunities are really about. And
Yeah.
as we talked about this, there's some people out that have 20, 30,000 Instagram followers posting about their career day in and day out, or podcasters out there really celebrating the trades. And there's a woman, something Tara, and I apologize if with this feed we'll get her out there somehow, but they're putting this out. I know the West Coast, and I'm just watching it progress, and I'm like, I'd love to repost a lot of people, because you could celebrate that. And with the 5 platforms that I have and reaching, the reach keeps growing from 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 followers, or that push. That's the amplifier that we could say, oh, this is what a job and career is about. Let's send some information of you, 50 stories in the, building, the city, or doing some jobs, something especially or inspiring, and let's share that message. In addition to getting the information from, the union organizations, the trade organizations, affiliates that are like really putting out these education resource. Department of Labor, really doing a good job and putting out some video content, because that's the way of the world right now, right? Short video content about information that's going to drive traffic and really support labor or get somebody inspired. Yes. And I love it. That's what inspires me. So I'm like, if I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it, I'm learning it, I want to share it. And then, like I said, the purpose of ULA network is really just to aggregate all that content, put it on one centralized platform, and celebrate what we're all here to do.
Yes, absolutely. So you heard it, L&M family. Find the ULA network on all the socials, because I know they're out there because we follow each other.
Yes.
Watch it, like it, share it, comment, because that's how we grow, right? I've had somebody ask me, it's funny, somebody asked me, and then I saw this little video on TikTok, I think. They're like, dude, like, you have such a great message. Why don't you have like gazillion followers? I'm like, well, did you like it? What do you mean? I said, you saw it. Did you like it? Did you share it? Like, that's why I don't have a gazillion followers. Like it and share it, man. It helps big time.
Right. And Jessica, I gotta tell you, I mean, I have to thank all the sponsors and supporters that sharing the same mission to support, educate, and promote, our union labor community. As they share that vision, and we're trying to build out the platform and work with the likes of people like yourself. It's like, let's build it, let's educate people, and then figure out how we can organize collectively to put these things together and celebrate and promote labor the best way we can. For me, it's like getting inspired, keeping me motivated. I go to the gym, I'll put my motivational tapes on. It's like, you can still do this. You had the worst day, but just kind of keep plugging through and try to make things happen. And every day is not going to be the best, but I'm just trying to figure out, am I doing what's right? Do I believe in, the mission? I'm sure there's people out there with the same vision like yourself, and say, if I need a lending hand, we get, somebody's out there to help support. And again, this is, May, Mental Health Awareness Month too. So you're seeing all that communication. For me, I think I guess the difficulty I've had with the loss of my father and just everything that's happened within, with COVID, is just trying to figure out how to do more and staying connected with the people that have always helped me. That's been my strength, or just helped me through the darkest of times.
Yes. Yeah. We're better together, man. Bottom line, we are better together.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Any shout outs you want to give to folks, people, business?
There's one guy it's actually his birthday today, from Teamsters 282, Lou Bizignano. I just want to say happy birthday to you. I spoke earlier today. Nice. Proud to have this be able to do this first podcast with you too. So all the supporters, the vendors, the bank for the past 15 years allowed me to really do what I do and establish some really great union labor family that's out there. I mean, I love my job, I love my career, and I love continuously learning to do that. I got to thank the wife too for allowing me to be out there since I'm traveling all the time, and these events are 2-3 times a week now, so I'm out
Ooh.
most of the time. But again, it's allowing me to press the flesh, learn from my labor consultants and contacts, and figure out how to do things better and more efficiently. That's it.
Yeah. So didn't that like commitment to service and commitment to connect like just bleed through the speakers and into your soul? He spoke about the Rotary Club, which is an important organization out there serving the community. If you're not currently involved in some form or fashion, go do it. And just like we said during this conversation, just do it. Get up, take some action. It's going to be a little funky, but it'll get better with practice. And now I'm super excited about this. It's the L&M family shout out. And there is not, I'm going to get emotional here. There is not one single L&M family member that I'm going to be shouting out right now. This shout out is to the entire L&M family, to all of the guests, to everyone that's listened, to everyone that's shared, to everyone that's left a review. Thank you. I know it's a little silly, but so huge, so meaningful to me. We just broke the 5,000 download threshold. And I recognize that that's a vanity metric. But the conversations I've had with you, the feedback that I've received, the support signals to me that I'm doing something good. Oh, baby, this is this ain't easy. And I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to you all for providing me with the opportunity to serve. Thank you. Man, you are one dedicated listener, sticking with us all the way through to the very, very end. Please know that this podcast dies without you, and we invite you to share how the episode's impacting you, along with your thoughts, questions, and suggestions. You've been gracious with your time, so we added social media links in the show notes to make it super easy for you to connect with us. Be kind to yourself, stay cool, and we'll talk at you next time.